Hi everyone, welcome to Tasty Tuesday, episode 13. I counted through them and found out how many there really is. 13th episode today. Welcome for being here today. Welcome. I'm just gonna set up, make sure everything is in functioning order, and we will get started right away. Let me know if you're here. I would love to see your name and where you're viewing from. It's always nice to have that information. I traveled around a lot and know a lot of people from around the globe, and I just love to see when people are connecting from all over. And let me know if you can hear me. Everything's okay. I just gonna make sure that we're online properly here. I don't see it yet coming up, but I do believe it's gonna be there right away. And here we are. I don't see it yet. There we go. So welcome. Thank you for taking the time to watch this. If it's your first time here watching Tasty Tuesdays, I will be getting started right away. I always like to just give it a few minutes to let the room fill up, or let some people come in if they are able to view live. And also, of course, if you are not here live, you get the recording sent out if you're on our email list. If you're not on our email list yet, and you just happen to find this video somewhere along the space and catch a little bit of it, send me your email and I'll be able to for sure send you the link, and then you have access to view this video, because these videos are not always kept on the Facebook page forever. But if you get the link, you can view it for your viewing pleasure whenever you're available to watch that. I believe there's, I have it set, or it's set for 30 days that the videos are available to watch on our Facebook group. And basically I got some notifications that some of them are going to be taken down soon. So if you haven't viewed them yet, you can just scroll through. You can also type in probably in the search Tasty Tuesdays and see what comes up there for you. Let me know how you are doing, your name, and where you're viewing from coming in here. We're going to get started right away because I don't like to make people wait. And I don't like to punish the punctual. So today's topic is actually going on the same line, the same path as where we were recently. The last two episodes, I specifically was speaking about liver health. So I'm going to get into that right away. So I've decided to do another one today, which is cancer and your liver. I recently took a course, or actually retook a course. I had taken the original course in 2020. In August of 2020, actually. And then the course was offered last year and I didn't manage to fit it in my schedule, but I decided this year it worked out, and I retook a course called Nutrition for Cancer Care and Support. So that was just this past weekend I did that, and it was really intense studies, as things are like that. And my teacher's in Malaysia, so I had to wake up at 3:30 in the morning to be able to attend the course starting at 4 a.m. because of the time change. But I'm just so grateful to have access to this information, and that's one really amazing thing that COVID did bring into our lives, was more things went online, and one of those was my teacher started putting his classes online. So it's really amazing that we have these opportunities to learn from each other around the world and be able to gain this wisdom and knowledge without having to go always to the physical location and be in a physical presence. Of course, that is nice when we can have that, but we know now we can get around it. So welcome. Thanks for being here today. As you may or may not know, but I will introduce myself. My name is Lori Voss Furukawa. I am originally from Canada. I knew from a young age that I loved where I was from, but I needed to see the world, and I needed to get out and explore different things and expand my horizons and take in more what the world had to offer for me. So I studied education in university, and at the ripe age of 22, I moved to Japan to teach English there. And I was there for a while, met my husband. We lived there for a few more years together, and we went on to live in China. And also we lived in the Philippines, and now we're in Germany. We also had a couple years in Germany in between there as well. So I've been abroad for quite a few years now and picked up a lot of experience and wisdom on the way. And that's what I am here to really share with you. A lot of the information that I have gained, and a lot of the healing modalities. I started my self-healing journey in 2010. I was suffering with a lot of different health issues, particularly in my womb area with my menstrual cycle. I had a lot of problems that came very abruptly in my space, specifically after I had 3 vaccines that were deemed necessary for our move to China. And directly or immediately after I received the 3rd doses and all the dosages finished, I had extreme pain every month, and it was horrendous. And I really decided that I needed to take I decided that I wanted to take a holistic approach to healing, because the answers that I found very quickly from the doctors were basically like, just cut everything out, or here's a hormone therapy treatment. And that really didn't feel like the answers that were going to solve my problem. So I started on many different healing journeys, everything doing the best that I could. And here's just a quick little list for you. Yoga is in my life. Tai Chi, I started in China, and Qigong a little bit. I'm not avidly practicing that now, but I know the benefits are there, and it's a beautiful practice to incorporate into your life. Absolutely. There's also, at the same time, I was doing something called intrinsic energy work, which is a type of meditation and energy work practice. And that helps to clear out a lot of emotional and trauma and wounds and deeper issues that we have within us. So clearing out that. And I did something called integrated healing dynamics, similarly to theta healing, and similar connection to intrinsic energy work, where we are, cleaning and cleansing and doing healing stuff. There's a lot of I don't need to go into that now. That would be another episode, I guess, really. And then I also got into doing, like I said, theta healing. There was Reiki that came in there as well. And of course, nutrition. I specifically was studying TCM nutrition. I also studied even feng shui, which is the energy of basically what's in our house. But as you learn more, everything is connected, and energy in our house is also representative of this house, this structure and this bodily function that you have. So if your house is really dirty and messy and chaotic, there's often going to be problems that are internal as well. So we really can look at all these different little pieces and put them together. And throughout my healing journey, which, like I said, started in 2010, I have now created a beautiful program that is transformational, with so many different tools of the amazing healing modalities that I've had access to over the years, that are available for you now. And you can, instead of taking 12 years to learn them and to have these tools, I have a 3-month program that is really, really amazing and so powerful and transformational. And I can give you a couple more details about that at the end of the video. So getting into today's topic, yes, cancer and your liver. So like I already mentioned, if you haven't yet had a chance to view the last 2 episodes specifically, they were on TCM and your liver, the TCM nutrition and your liver health. So those will be, giving you already information on the liver aspect, if that's something that's interesting for you, or if you're just interested in general healing as well, that's going to help you along the way. And today I'm going to specifically focus on cancer, because of just retaking this amazing course that I had on the weekend helped remind me of so many different things. And liver was something that came up so often during the course. So I thought, you know what? That's my next Tasty Tuesday topic, because it's just so key. And I know some of you might be thinking, like, Tasty Tuesday, I want more recipes. I want, how come we're not talking more about like what we can do in the kitchen? And I could stand here and just give you recipes, and that can be okay, put this in your diet here, and here's a recipe today for this. But I feel like there's so much more than just having recipes. I mean, that's part of it. But when we get a greater understanding of what's going on by what we put in, it really helps us to shift and think about in our own creative space, how do we want to make changes? What do I want to do? It can be something like, well, I really like eating fried fish, for example. But when we start to realize that the fried aspect of foods is a hindrance for us, or this or that, and then we can, okay, well, maybe I can, start to remove, because we know the reasons why. If I just stand up here and tell you, don't eat fish and you should eat this instead, you'd be like, oh, a bunch of blah, 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 right? What is she even talking about? Why is she telling me this? So I really believe in the approach of that knowledge is power. And when we have the knowledge, we can move forward with action, and that's where we get empowerment. So that's where that's a place where I come from, and I truly believe in. And I'm here to empower you. So I really appreciate that you're here watching this, and you're here and willing and ready to move forward in your own health journey. Again, let me know if you have any questions when I'm speaking. If something isn't clear and doesn't make sense and you need clarification, or if it resonates as well, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. I always love to have the interaction. Plus, it also helps to get the algorithm going better, because Facebook likes when people are viewing this when it's live, and they like all that stuff. So then it's going to get out there a little bit more for people. And of course, the more people that we can share this information with, the more people we can impact positively. It's that simple. I mean, that's a simple math, right? We all can do that much. Oh, that's good. So today, yes, and the first two videos I talked a lot about connection. There's so many different interconnected pieces with our organs and our entire body. I also talked about the 5 elements and the seasons that are connected to the liver. Well, there's one season. We have different seasons for all the different organs or different areas. Not all the different organs are major organs. And there's also color, there's emotions, and there's flavors. And then, of course, that was more. So the first part 1 and the part 2, I focus a little bit more on specific foods that we can incorporate to help support our liver. So definitely take a look if that's of interest for you, because the videos are still available there, and they won't be there forever. So our liver, basically it's like a filtration system, or it's like a cleansing space, right? So all the blood that comes from our stomach and our intestine goes through the liver. And our liver's job, actually our liver has many jobs. It can be known, as I shared as well before, as the grand commander or the general commander in our body. And it also has up to like 500 functions that it has. So we can see just with that information how important it is to have good liver health. That's just so key. So all this blood and everything is coming from our stomach and our intestines, and it goes into our liver. And when it passes through there and there's a cleansing process that happens, and then the liver also produces a chemical substance called bile. And bile is what helps to excrete the waste. Okay, so if it's not functioning, that is one problem we're going to already be seeing, that the bile is not already being produced. And then there's, of course, when it's helping to excrete the waste, obviously there's going to be an accumulation of waste. What happens if you think about, if you leave like a garbage container, if you've gone on holidays or something and you come back home and you have like a food storage or organic or any garbage really, after a week or so of being left in the house, and it's like, oh, that's really rotten and stinky. It's disgusting. You can see maybe even mold growing, or if you've left something in your fridge for too long, you see that bacteria, the mold growth, these kinds of things. Essentially, that's what's going on then inside of us. There's just room for so much bad bacteria and growth and fungus and all these things to take place and happen. So we want to do our best to remove the burden, right? So, so basically, if we are putting in harsh chemicals, harsh foods, hard things into our mouth, so that is already, I've been suggesting or talking about this in the previous videos, but just a quick recap, things like alcohol, number one, of course, is a challenge for our liver, and it's going to be a burden. So we have to be mindful of how much we're consuming, and if it is a problem, maybe even eliminating it. It doesn't mean necessarily eliminating it forever, but maybe there's a time frame that it's eliminated to really help the healing process. Even cigarette smoking is another chemical, so that's going to be also something, even though we don't think about it as like, it's not a liquid, it's just smoke, right? But actually that smoke is still going through. The smoke doesn't travel through, but the chemicals that are in there that go into our lungs, they travel through our entire body, and it's going to affect the liver as well. Things like processed foods, so prepackaged foods, everything that's coming in a bag, these dried chips, crisps, crackers, cookies, all these kinds of things, they're going to be hard on our liver as well. They're hard on our digestion, but they're hard on our liver. Like, everything really is connected. That's really a beautiful thing about our body. It's not just one thing stands alone. It's all here, and everything is within us and is connected, right? So like I say, if we're smoking, if we are eating, if we're doing things, also the creams that you put on your body, the chemicals that you use to wash your clothes. I've mentioned this in the first two videos. I don't need to go into that too much right now, but all those things that are inorganic, synthetic chemicals, these are going to be harmful and harsh and a burden for your liver, essentially. Your liver has to clean it out. And never mind, there's like just general air pollutants that we don't have necessarily control over, stuff that comes from cars or that's in the air as well if we're living beside it or near to a factory, for example, what gets put out of that. These kinds of things are going to be also have an effect on us just naturally because they're around us. So basically, our liver today has extreme burdens because of the environment that we've created basically since the Industrial Revolution. And these things are really hard for our system. And that's why we are seeing more and more issues coming up in our health, because there's just such a plethora of things that need to be cleansed that our body takes in. It's tiring, it's hard, and actually we live such busier lifestyles nowadays as well. Technology makes things easier and faster and more convenient, but it also means that we're moving faster. Everything is going. We're doing 1,000 things in a day. Our mind is racing all the time. It's even hard to sleep because our mind is going so fast, everything. And that creates also a burden for our system as well, because we really need to have balance. So basically, when the liver is burdened by all these things that I've just talked about, it can't function properly. It starts to malfunction. And what happens when something can't work properly? It doesn't provide its jobs anymore. It's not able to do the jobs that it is supposed to do. And one of the big things that the liver is supporting and working together with is our immune system. So when our liver is down, our immune system is going to be weakened as well. And that can be things even like we're catching a cold more often, or if you notice like cold sores coming up more in your body, that's a sign basically that your body is down, particularly the liver, because the liver is really functioning and controlling and working really side by side with that immune system. So when certain things start to show up in our body, and maybe even you catch a cold and you get a cold, like a cold and a cold sore, a herpes virus, at the same time, you know that your body is basically struggling internally to fight off these viruses and these bacterias. So that means, okay, we have to still go through the healing process, but how can we make changes so this doesn't occur next time, And stress is another burden for our liver as well. So stress, these are all like stressors that I list, like physical ones, like I say, the laundry detergent, for example. But there can be stress like emotional stress and work stress. So it's just like heavy on your shoulders, heavy in your head. That's also stressful and going to be affecting your liver and, like I say, your immune system. So what happens when your immune system is weakened? Like I say, you get sicker easily, you get infections easily, or everything has kind of like the door is open a little bit. There's a little bit of a crack in the door and things can sneak in. Those little critters get in and they affect us negatively. And all of a sudden we're weaker. As we also have a weaker system, sometimes we don't even notice it. Or sometimes we might I feel a little bit more tired recently, or I'm not feeling so good recently, but we keep going, we keep pushing through it. So it's really imperative, it's really important that we start to listen to those signs and bring more awareness into our life. Because that's where we're going to be able to notice what's going on and start to take more preventative steps. But also, when something is happening, we can still start to notice, that's really weird. Now I have a skin rash. Okay, that's all. From TCM perspective, that's connected to your liver. The skin is a really big organ and it's a detoxing organ as well, right? So if we're having issues there, the number one is this liver. This guy's having an issue first, and number two, it's going to come out in other areas, and we're going to start to see that in other places. So that's where I'm not opposed 100% to going to see a doctor. Absolutely, Western medical doctors have their purpose and their place to help us as well. But in such a case, if you have a skin rash and you just go to the doctor and get a topical cream and put that on top, and the rash is better. But if that skin cream is harsh chemical compounds, which unfortunately often it is, like steroids and these kinds of things, cortisol and these types of hard chemicals, that's still something our liver has to process. Therefore, we're still contributing to the burden, even though topically it might clear up the rash, but internally we're creating and contributing to a further burdening of our liver, which, okay, like I say, maybe it clears up for now, but it comes back in another way. It finds another way to show us that we need to look deeper. And that's where, when we start to listen and see what's going on, we can, dig a little bit deeper. And that's, for me, the TCM nutrition approach to health and wellness is so amazing, because we look deeper at the root causes. And even sometimes we don't necessarily have to know a root cause of something, but we can still know that there's, that's connected to the liver, that's connected to the kidneys, this is connected to the heart, or where's the connection and where's the underlying healing going to come from then? Because when we just do that topical Band-Aid solution, the root cause is still there. And that is the amazing part of TCM nutrition. We really focus on healing the root, healing that foundational piece, so we can heal our bodies and prevent these things from occurring again. And it's just so amazing. And that's actually the foundation of what I teach in the Nutritional Empowerment Transformation Program. It is just foundational information for healing, prevention. And of course, it contributes to weight loss and goals and maintenance. Like, that's just the package. Those go together. I feel like the weight loss is a very extra, but it's not, because it's so connected. I think the weight loss, in terms, when I say it's an extra, it's like because we think like, oh, I want to be able to fit this, so we're doing that ego and that vanity thing. I want to be able to look this way or that way, that kind of thing. So that's where I feel like it's the extra piece, because we're just doing it from this, like, I want to look a certain way, as opposed to I want to feel good. I don't want to be sick anymore, which is much of a more internal approach to health and wellness. But really, the weight and the healing of our health, they really connect so closely together. Absolutely. They are like hand in hand. They're there. And some people don't have weight issues, but it doesn't mean that their health is 100% either. So it's important not to associate just because someone is overweight that they have health issues, or just because I'm not overweight doesn't mean I'm not healthy. That kind of, or doesn't, if you think yourself, well, I don't have a weight problem, so therefore everything is fine. It's not necessarily the case. And I'm not trying to say that to scare you or make you feel bad. That's where it comes to listening to our body as well. Are we dealing with skin issues, joint issues, all these different kind of things, autoimmunity? This is key if we think about from our liver. What did I just mention a few minutes ago about the connection between our liver and our immune system? Autoimmunity is basically when your immune system starts to attack itself. So we have inflammation in our joints, the immune system goes there, it doesn't know what to remove anymore because it's so confused and so foggy in the immune system style, and it starts to basically just attack and actually creates more inflammation and more of a problem, because it's attacking also good cells, not only the bad ones. And autoimmunity is such an umbrella term. It's unbelievable how many different modern day diseases and illnesses fit under autoimmunity. And these can be reversed and healed, of course, prevented by the way we live our life and the nutrition that we take in. So we have, I just always I go back and around. I have all these beautiful points and different things come into me when I'm talking. So please forgive me if you feel like I'm going a little bit all over the place, but I guarantee I have a method to my madness. So our liver gets burdened by all the things that I've already mentioned, and it's going to affect our immune system. And it also affects our cell function throughout our body. So the natural cell function in our body starts to be hindered. Some cells don't function the way they're supposed to. And that is where something like cancer mutations, or even just mutations, start to take place. And when we have a genetic mutation, it often can lead to cancer, not necessarily always, but this is a very easy pathway for things like that to come into our body and to fully take place. Can you see the connection? Does that make sense to you? How does that resonate, or how does that feel to you? And it might be different from some of the information you've heard or learned on different things. And I'm open and willing to have different opinions. But by all means, you can type it in the comments or let me know in an email or in a message if there is other information. Like I say, if you want to have clarification on something or want deeper information, absolutely. But basically, there's cell functions that there's some cells in our body that their purpose is to kill off these the bad cells, and to kill off these ones that want to cause harm in our body. But when our liver is having an issue and overburdened, starting to malfunction, these cells don't get the food that they need. They don't get the messages they need anymore. They are not able to provide their job anymore. And that's where the mutations start to take place in our bodies, and they can turn into cancer. And I really, if cancer is in your life right now, or if you know people in your life, just love yourself, because that's most important. Also, really give yourself some extra loving, because it's hard and we do the best that we can, but it's important that, like I say, when we have this knowledge and information, that we start to use it and take action. And that's when we empower ourselves or empower our loved ones, if there is people in our life that are suffering from this as well. So yes, the best tip I have for you, take care of your liver, really and truly. And I work from this TCM nutrition perspective. If this resonates with you, send me a message. Absolutely. I am passionate about helping you to become a better person in terms of your health and wellness, because when we are suffering with pain and dis-ease and discomfort, cancer or any autoimmune disease, anything that is hindering us from living our best life, it's hard to move forward. It's hard to keep being positive. So we really need that support to move forward. And when we have a beautiful support system, it is so much easier and so much better to move through life. Absolutely. Yes. So I also have a couple other good tips here for you. So I said my best tip is to take care of your liver. So how should you do that? Okay. And these are some things that I mentioned already in the other videos. So you might hear repeat and you might hear some different information. So absolutely, if this information resonates with you, take a look at the other videos. They're there for you. They're free. I am giving this information because I genuinely care about you and your health. And I really do want you to be living your best life, because when you're living your best life and you're able to be happy and have a joyful space, you spread that to other people as well. So we can share that and continue. It's almost like we can be in a way, I don't know if it's a good thing to say exactly, but kind of, it's like a good cancer. We start to spread and move things in a positive direction. And that's a ripple effect. That's a beautiful thing as well. And I'm happy to be a part of that. And I wish for that to be in your life as well. Number one, what is a really good tip for cancer care, support, prevention is routine. Now, this can be challenging, especially if you're feeling unwell, but routine in terms of thinking about the naturalness of the earth and the universe that we live in. The sun shines in the morning, or the sun rises in the morning. It doesn't always shine every day necessarily if it's a cloudy or a rainy day, but you know what I mean. The sun rises every morning, and the sun sets every evening, and we have the moon that's going to be every evening throughout the night as well. And again comes the sun. We are designed as human beings to be awake in the daylight hours and working and having an outward energy output and doing things in the day. When we are in that routine already, when we wake up in the morning, and waking up earlier when the sunrise or around that time of day is really ideal. If we're waking up at 10 or 11 a.m., that's already, we're messing up this circadian rhythm. So really doing our best to get in a nice routine, waking up nice and early in the morning, and then having a nice full schedule through the day. Of course, if you're sick and unwell, please do take your rest and don't pack the things in that you might have packed in your daily schedule before, because you need to have more time for your healing. But if we're talking in terms of prevention, but like I say, this does overlap. If you are faced with something at the moment, this is still key in doing your best to adhere to waking up in the morning, and then, like I say, having your daily activities. And when it comes to the evening hours, taking the time to rest. Do your hobbies, do things that calm your mind, relax, have relaxing music. If you read your books, maybe have a craft, arts and crafts, hobbies, whatever you're doing in that time, as long as it is allowing you to be in a place of rest. We let go of the stress from the day, whatever happened in our work day or whatever happened with our interactions with others. So really developing that routine, and then we go to bed. Going to bed no later than 11 p.m. is really best for our body, because there is a natural time and space in the nighttime hours where different organs in our body need that resting space for us to rest, for them to actually work and do their restoration. So if we're staying up late every night, or if you are working regularly night shifts, this is going to affect your liver and your overall health as well. So doing your best to really have that routine, so you can have your daily activities going on. Evening is focusing on rest, enjoying, relaxing, bringing that energy level down, going naturally into that resting space. The same as the night gets cooler, we want to cool down our bodies, cool our minds, cooling everything down. It's natural. Okay, so we really want to focus on that natural, holistic approach. And that is so much of what TCM Nutrition has to offer. It's so beautiful because it's not a product line. It's not calorie counting and focusing on these different meticulous types of things. We really focus on a holistic approach. And when we start to get the foundational pieces, which I'm teaching you here as well, you can start to implement these. And if you're interested, like I say, there's another program, another round coming up in July, starting for my Nutritionally Empowered Transformations program. And it is just that. Transformational. It has the potential to transform your life. And I say potential because it's still up to you to do the work. I can give you the information, but if you don't make that application, the potential is lost. But you will have, if you attend the course, the program material, the contact with me, my guidance, support throughout the entire program to be able to facilitate your healing, your prevention, and your being able to maintain your weight loss goals as well. It's just so amazing. It really is. And I really wish, like I say, everybody could learn it and take it, because I want to help everybody. I don't like when I see people suffering. And I think, you're suffering. Oh, I'm so sorry you're suffering. It doesn't need to be this way. We can work together to make things better, really. But like I say, it can't be only me. There needs to be another person here ready and willing to receive. And when that happens, then we can really fully move forward into the healing of TCM Nutrition and what it has to offer, and the wisdom. Because this isn't stuff that I've just made up. This isn't stuff that my teacher has just made up. This is like thousands and thousands of year-old wisdom that is coming out of ancient China. Like, it's so beautiful. So it's really amazing. And as you know, I'm passionate about it, so I get excited. And like I say, if this resonates with you, absolutely send me a message, because I'd love to talk more about it with you, and we can see if it's feasible for you to move forward with it. So yeah, I said routine, going to bed no later than 11 p.m. if possible. Even by 10 would be recommended, because even if we go to bed at 11, like laying down, sometimes this takes us a little bit more to go to sleep. So trying really to get into bed even before that would be best. I mentioned already, but here we go again, just recap. Removing the burdens as much as possible. I mentioned all the burdens as well before already: smoking, drinking, like drinking alcohol specifically. And again, in moderation, everything in balance is okay, essentially. But if we're already working at the level of we need to heal cancer or heal a serious illness already, then we need to think about taking stricter protocols. So it depends where you're at on your healing stage, or where you're at on in your healing journey. Processed foods, coffee can also be a burden for our liver as well. So again, depends where you're at on your healing journey and your healing space. I'm not telling everybody to eliminate and remove all these things 100%, but we have to be more conscious, aware of what are we putting in, because those are things that are going to be helping us or burdening us. Also, high sugar diet is going to be a burden. If you eat a lot of pastries and these kinds of sugary foods, this is going to be a burden as well. I'm not going to go into more of that now, because I already talked about it before. I don't want to keep you forever here today. So yeah, basically as well, paying really attention then to what your body is telling you. So for example, if you know that when you drink milk, you have always to go to the bathroom very quickly, and you know you're lactose intolerant, but you continue to drink milk and eat cheese and do these kinds of things, and you're just popping the pills in all the time, this is going to still be a burden because your body still has to deal with it, even though taking the pill helps you and doesn't force you to go to the bathroom right away, but it still is that burden. So we really want to listen to our body and make choices that are in alignment with helping our body. So it's something as well, like wheat is something that bothers a lot of people. It also has for me in the past, and I really do my best to eliminate wheat products from my diet because I know that it's a burden for me. When I eat it, I get bloated, I feel gross, I feel disgusting, I feel, I don't like, it's just everything turns around and it's not nice. So I do my best to consciously eliminate wheat from my diet. I really do. Once in a while, it's still there. And even yesterday, like I had a noodle dish. We went out for dinner, and after I was like, oh, I think those noodles were wheat ones. Like I could just feel that it's like it's not passing through the way it should be. There's a problem. So we need to just pay more attention, myself included. I'm not pointing the finger at anyone by all means because it's something we all need to do. Yes, and another tip I have here is eat fresh, organic, local as much as possible. When we do that, we're going to help our bodies as well. It's just common sense. These kinds of things that are available to us, fresh foods, local foods, organic foods. We want to move away from chemicals as well. So chemicals in our foods, these are going to help us. I know some people who think organic foods is just rubbish and it's just another label on there. So make sure when you do buy organic food, it does have at least one stamp of organic approval, but if possible, more than one stamp of organic approval. Yeah, because it's really going to help our body in the long run, and that's what we want to do. And now, if I go a little bit deeper, I'm going to tell you my bestest tip. Is that a word? Bestest? And it's even more than one here. I have, basically, when I talk about eating local, fresh, and organic, I don't know, I don't want to convince you to do anything. I'm just here to tell you the information. So I retract that back. I suggest eating a diet that has a higher proportion of whole grains in it. Now you need to make sure that those are prepped properly. And I'm not going to go into that today because that's perhaps another episode, but definitely whole grains are healing and provide us with vital minerals and nutrients and the life force that is necessary for healing our body. And also root veggies. Root veggies are really key in helping us heal as well. And even if you are not sick, you can still incorporate root veggies because they're going to help to prevent things from coming into your space. So that's the key. We want to work on prevention as well. This is really important. Another one of my bestest tips is mindset work. So something like meditation, for example, and also visualization. So visualizing works in the sense that you're putting that thought out there already of where you want to see yourself, how do you want to see yourself. If the opposite side of the coin, if you are thinking, I'm, sick, I'm horrible, I'm this, I'm never going to get better, that's going to contribute to the path that you continue to move on. If you have the opportunity, and it's a challenge, that's why it helps when we work with other people that can help to support us in this space and lift us up when we do feel challenged. If you can specifically focus on the positive, I want to live a vibrant life. I want to see myself going hiking. If you see yourself going hiking, what are the trees like? What does it smell like? What is the air? Is the sun shining? Can you feel it on your skin? Fully and completely visualize the sensation that you want to create or the space that you want to create in your life. That's going to contribute to taking you on that path. Okay? And I have number 3 bestest tip. And again, it's kind of like a recap, but it's just too amazing. I couldn't leave it out, is really your lifestyle. What is the lifestyle you lead? What are the choices that you make on a daily basis? As I already mentioned, what are you doing in the day? What are you doing in the evening? How is your, eating patterns like? What are you putting in? These are all different lifestyle choices as well. Are you up late partying every night? Do you work late every night? Those are still going to be contributing to the lifestyle choices that you make and going to be potentially working towards healing or working towards healing and or prevention. Okay, so it's really important. Those tips, I really And it's funny, funny, not funny, I don't know. I talked to a couple people since taking this course this last weekend, and like, oh, so what do I need to know? What's the best tip? I'm like, what? I just studied for how many hours and you want me to tell you like quickly in 1 minute what's the best tip? Well, I mean, it's hard if someone wants just really one sentence, but I'm here now sharing with you already almost for 40 minutes about these tips and this information. And these are really the foundational pieces that are going to work towards, like I say, prevention and healing. And really lifestyle is going to be one of the biggest factors. So what are the things that you really do on a regular basis? Those are, it's imperative to your healing. And prevention, like I say, if you are still healthy and well, or maybe you're just starting to notice a few things in your life and in your body, that's a key time to start making changes so you can reverse things from fully going down the track of illness and disease and being unwell. So I hope that those tips find you well. If you are interested to really learn more about them and how to implement them and to dig deeper, like I say, how to prepare the grains, how do I eat them? I never ate grains. Previously I'd never had whole grains in my diet at all. Now I eat every day is whole grains in my breakfast. Absolutely. It's like, that's like, I had mentioned this in a couple episodes back. This is one of the key factors for me to helping maintain my health. And if I can only have one meal that I'm cooking a day, I'm going to make sure that it's my breakfast and that it's whole grains, because that helps so much. And I felt it. I'm here to speak about it. I feel it, I see it, and I know it within me. And that's why I'm here to share this information with you. And if it resonates with you, send me a message, let me know, because I would love to speak with you. You can set up your free clarity call. We can see if this program is right for you. The program is called Nutritionally Empowered Transformation, but it's not only about nutrition. As I speak about in my Tasty Tuesday videos, I really speak about nourishment on all levels. Like one of the best tips that I just gave you, I talked about visualization. That's nothing to do with what you're putting in your mouth, but has everything to do with what's going up on here. And I'm pretty sure that I mentioned it in a previous video, but the reality is what goes on up here is the biggest energy consumer of our entire system. So when we can start to work parallel with this and work together with what's going on up here, we're going to facilitate that transformation and that empowerment as well. Okay? So the wait list is currently open for the next round of Nutritionally Empowered Transformation. And if you get your name on that wait list, you can save yourself 500 euros. It's really an amazing deal. The deal's not going to be open forever. It's not going to be available till the last minute of the class until the program opens. So don't hesitate. If this feels like it's interesting for you, put your name on there. You've really got nothing to lose and everything to gain. This course is so foundational and phenomenal. As I mentioned, the next round starts in July, and it's a 3-month program. The classes usually take about 2 hours. I had originally thought 1 to 2 hours, but I realized that 2 hours, it's just packed with so much beautiful information. You have lifetime access to all the recordings. You can review and all the course material you have access to. There's a yoga component to the course. There's also a Reiki component. I do distant Reiki as well for you to help facilitate your healing and to help remove the blockages. Because like I say, this nutritional empowerment is so much more than only the food that we put in our mouth. And there's lots of blockages that can be physically in our body. Emotional trauma is a big factor as well that can contribute to cancer. And cancer is a multifactorial illness as well. So it's not as, like only air pollution causes cancer. Not necessarily. There's many things that are going to contribute to that coming into a person's space. So emotional trauma is one of them. And through Reiki and the energy work that we also do in the course helps to remove those things as well and help us to move through those blockages. And that's just it. It's a blockage. When something is blocking something, it's preventing us from flow, from healing, from moving forward, from cleansing, all that stuff, right? Like if you think about being constipated, for example, that's a blockage. And naturally, the waste isn't being removed. So we want to remove the blockage. That's a physical example, but emotionally and energetically, we can use Reiki and energy tools to help us remove other kinds of blockages in our body as well. This program is for you if you have current health issues you want to handle on a natural basis. This program that I offer can also be in running alongside, if you have other health issues and you need to take medicine, pharmaceutical medication from a doctor's prescriptions, it's not like one or the other. These can be running together because this is the foundational material that you're going to learn. And I'm not going to tell you you shouldn't be taking your medicine. You've got to do what you feel is best for yourself and follow your doctor's recommendations. But this is going to give you the foundational, the roots, the system that is going to allow you to live a healthy life. And also, like I mentioned before, we have weight management, and it helps you to reach your weight loss goals and also maintain by taking this foundational approach to health and wellness. And it also works on prevention of disease. The outcome, you will have the foundational traditional Chinese medicine wisdom in your back pocket. You know, like I say, you'll have lifetime access to the course material, but you have all the tools and you will know what to do. And of course, you'll have access to contact me. I'm not going anywhere anytime fast. You'll have that always. I'll be here to support you. I strongly encourage this for anyone who is really health conscious and looking forward to making positive and empowering choices in their life and for their loved ones. If you are caring for other people in your life, if you have children or partner, or maybe you care for your parents or whoever, whatever it is, if you are cooking and providing food in your kitchen, that is number one. You're going to be able to help them right there. And that comes through dialogue. When we talk about why we want to make these changes, that's the most important piece, because then it really shows what's going on and how to take that empowering step. You can contact me by email at ninalori@easternbalance.org. You can also comment on this video if you want more information, and I'll send you, we can get in contact that way. You can message me on Facebook as well through the Eastern Balance Facebook group. You can also message me privately on my Facebook page. If you know my WhatsApp number, you're welcome to reach me there as well. I will absolutely reply to you and get in touch with you. And if you have the desire to set up your free clarity call and the time zones don't match up from where you're at, just where the clarity call is, send me a message, or reach out to me and say, Lori, the times don't work for me. I'm busy there, but you only have this available. Let me know, because absolutely we can rearrange and I can find a space for to talk to you, because this is just such amazing information. I really do want to be able to reach as many people as possible, because it's so transformational. It's so beautiful. I've seen it in my life, and I've seen it in other people's lives as well that have taken the course with me, and it's just amazing. And I really wish that it can be just as amazing for you, and I absolutely know it can be. The changes that I've made in my life are absolutely possible for you to make as well, and that you can live and enjoy your life to the fullest and be happy and healthy. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I wish you all the best on your health and wellness journey. Let me know if you're interested to work together, because we can set up a call to see if it is in alignment. Thank you again. Take care. Wishing you a lovely rest of your day. And you can also find my videos on YouTube. Just search my name, Lori Voss Furukawa, and I will happily you can also, I will happily be there giving you the videos, because I always post them up on there anyways. But you can also like and subscribe to that page, because that also helps to get the information out there. And I'm happy to see that for more and more people to have access to this, because we don't have to go to China to learn about traditional Chinese medicine. You can be right in the comfort of your own home and be there. So thank you again. Take care. Love you all, and we'll be in touch soon. Bye-bye for now. One more thing, if you have any topics that you want me to touch on or to speak about, absolutely send me a message or even write it in the comments, because I will do my best. If it's information that I have knowledge about, I will do my best to share it with you. So thank you. Take care for now. Bye-bye.